Hello, hello. I am not sure if anybody's going to join today, because I actually did not properly notify people that I would be on YouTube today. Hello, I see one person here. So my name's Labria Jones. I am also known as the Remote Work Queen. I help people find and land remote jobs, and I do a live coaching session for the general public once a month. I typically do these for my community every week for my full access members every week, but then I do it open to the public once a month. And today is that day. I see one person joined, and I typically don't have an agenda for these. It's really just what questions do you have? What do you want to know about working remotely, about taking workations, about traveling? Good morning. Um, what can I help you with? What are you stuck on? Right now, we're doing in the Quick Commuting Academy a Be About It challenge where I find that a lot of people talk about getting remote jobs and talk about wanting to change their lifestyle and things like that. But they also don't often take action to do that. And so I launched the Be About It challenge. We're in week 3, I think, of the challenge. And every week they're focused on something different. And so every week they get lessons on Monday. We do a check in on Wednesday. And then on Saturday, we do a networking and co-working session, which I'll be doing right after this, where we actually get the work done and we critique each other's work and things like that. It's been a really, really great challenge. It's been really awesome to see people actually take action towards their goals. Because I think a lot of people there I have a lot of resources here on YouTube, on Instagram, on the blog. I have I mean, and in the community. So there's resources out there that are free that are available to people. And then I have a course called the Remote Ready Bundle, where it actually guides people through the 4 phases of finding and landing remote work. But I think people buy the course or they get into the community and they just feel overwhelmed. And so the Be About It challenge has been a really great way to get people really focused on what they need to do. Like, let's only do this one thing this week. Okay, next week, let's only do this one thing that build on the thing that we did last week. So it's been really cool. I think I'm going to do the challenge again. It's not open for anybody to join right now, but I'm going to do the challenge again. um, I work from home as at a call center, and it is draining mentally. I agree. I've done it before. It can be very draining. Customer service is a lot because people don't call customer service for good reasons, right? Nobody calls customer service to give compliments to the organization. Usually, you're calling customer service because you have an issue and a problem, especially in this day and age where, a long time ago, calling a customer service call center was pretty standard if you just wanted to generally do business, right? Like you wanted to reserve a flight or you wanted to pay a bill. Calling customer service was pretty standard for generally doing business. And now tools exist where you don't need to call anyone to do business. Therefore, 98% of those calls are going to be someone complaining or having a problem that they need addressed. And so it can definitely be mentally draining. I worked in customer service for over 10 years, for a long time. So I worked at call centers. I know that life, it can be really tough to separate yourself from the company and not take ownership of the angst and complaining and anger and all of that, and not take it personally. It's tough not to do that. So I'd say one thing is, I'll say two things. One, I hope you have a therapist. I think everybody needs a therapist. Let's be very clear. I think everybody should be going to therapy. And especially if you're in a role where people are constantly dumping on you, like customer service. I think that is a great role, a great type of job that should like come with healthcare benefits or mental health benefits. So one, I think you should have a therapist, right? So that you get to release as well. Um, and you can talk about work with your therapist to build coping skills to separate yourself from like what you're hearing on a constant basis. And the second thing I'd say is you could also consider doing more chat and email related customer service, because when you're getting the emails, it's not as it doesn't feel as personal, right? So look into chat customer service. You have customer service experience, and a lot of companies, there's a lot of businesses that have moved away from having call center customer service and are doing more chat based customer service, email customer service. And that's something you could do as a freelancer too. You can even offer for to help small businesses set up their email customer service too. So that's something. So you said you're thinking about doing being a VA. That's one way to do that, right? One way to do that as a VA is saying, well, I'll help set up email ticketing system and things like that for a company, and then I'll run their customer service. If you go on Fiverr, fiverr.com or upwork.com, you can actually see what other people are doing in customer service. If you go and just search for people, search for freelancers, if you go to the customer service tab, you can see what other people are doing to kind of jog your creativity and think about how you can start to do that kind of work too. But so I'd say two things. What one, look into freelancing in that realm, but also look for jobs as an email or chat customer service person because it can be very draining, very heavy. I've totally been there. You have people yelling at you, and you're like, I didn't do anything to you, sir. Like, it's not my fault. The interest rate on your credit card went up. Like, chill out. Um, Someone said, pivoting from disability adjudication to AI software. I'm taking certs for all three, and I want a remote location. I want remote location independence to slow travel with my kids. That's awesome. I think that's incredible. So what I love about what you just pointed out is that you are teaching yourself new skills. I think we live in a time right now where it is so I don't want to say easy, I'm going to say accessible. It's so accessible to completely pivot careers and learn new things without having to go back to school or having to go get a degree. There are so many boot camps and training programs out there that can teach you how to do a lot of cool things that can land you really great, lucrative, and flexible jobs. And AI, software engineering, cybersecurity are three of really, really good ones. So I'm really glad you're doing that. And one thing I want to encourage people that might be watching this and thinking about pivoting careers is one, a lot of these things are things you can learn in less than a year. A lot of this stuff are things that you can learn in less than a year. Two, a lot of this stuff are things that you can either be a W-2 employee or you can go and freelance and work on your own or be a contractor. And then what was the third thing? I almost the third thing is that a lot of times, especially when it comes to software engineering and stuff like that, people will still hire you while you're in boot camps. So you don't have to think, oh, this boot camp is 6 months from now. It's going to take me 6 months to even start to apply for jobs. As soon as you start taking that boot camp, go ahead and update your LinkedIn and say that you're taking these boot camps, right? Continuously update your LinkedIn with the things that you're learning, the new language that you're learning, the new elements that you're learning, the new technologies that you're learning, because a lot of recruiters are open to hiring entry level and early career people that are coming out of these boot camps. And I personally have talked to quite a few people that have gotten hired or gotten job offers while they're still in boot camps. So I'm telling you, y'all can lean into that. I try to do self-taught coding. It's hard. Yeah, self-taught might be hard. That's why, a lot of these courses are good. I'd like to pivot from HR, just not sure where to. I have no interest in working in an office. I want to continue traveling. I have no interest in working in an office either. But it's tough for me to tell you where you want to pivot to, right? I mean, that's going to be up to you. So it's really a matter of understanding, what your strengths are. Like there can be an overlap between your strengths and things that you enjoy doing. And so I think that you really got to get in tune with, with those things to figure out kind of what you want to do next. And I say next because a lot of people think that they've got to make a decision that they're going to stick to for the next, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And you don't, right? You just really need to decide what is the next thing I want to try. There can be, over the next 5 years, there could be 2 to 3 different iterations of your career. You have the power and the right to choose and change your mind from time to time or whenever you feel like it. And so don't get so caught up in, what am I going to do for the next 5 to 10, 15 years? What do I want to try next is the only thing that you really need to answer. What is the next thing I want to try out? Because at any time, you have the ability to completely change your life and change your mind about what you're doing. So All that said, Francis, I don't know what to tell you about where to go from HR, or what you to pivot into. What I will tell you is it's time to maybe get in tune with what your strengths and the things that you like to do are, and maybe start doing some searches for um, how to, you know what? There's this Gallup Strengths Finder test. Gallup owns it. It used to be called Strengths Finder 2.0, but Gallup Strengths has this quiz. I think it's like $35, and you will take this quiz. It's going to ask you a bunch of questions, and then it'll spit out a report that kind of tells you where your strengths lie and kind of what type of profession would be good for you. So that's something you could consider. Let me see. What is this thing called? I do this every time. I talk about this quiz a lot. I think it's called the Gallup Strengths Finder. Yep, Gallup Strengths Finder, gallup.com. Live your best life using your strengths. I'm gonna drop this in the. I don't know if I drop when I drop links. I don't know if they actually are linkable, clickable, but I'm gonna try it. Oh, this link is too big. This link is just way too big. It's called the Clifton Strengths. That's what it's called. Let me go to gallup.com because I think it's so long because it's a Google, because Google sent me there. Give me a second. There we go. There you go. So, Francis, consider trying that out. I know somebody that's like certified in that, but that's one thing that you can test out. I want to say it's $35 or $40. I don't remember how much this quiz is, but it's supposed to be a really good assessment, and it'll give you personalized results about where your strengths are and how to apply them. Oh, it's actually there's one for $50 and there's one for $60. They have one for students that's $25. So there's that. You're welcome. I hope that's helpful. Also, Francis, I don't know if you're in the community in the Quick Commuting Academy's full access. I know you're in the community because your avatar looks familiar. I think you're doing the Be About It challenge. Um, I don't know if you're in the full access space, but in the full access part of the community, there's a replay that we did too where there were career coaches that came through and talked about that very thing. Like if you don't know where to go, how to figure out what it is you want to do um, with your career. So I'll see if I can find that. One is called Boss Up Your Career, I want to say. Um, Pivot Like a Pro, Boss Up Your Next Career Move. There's that one. Let me share that one too. I think I can share it. There you go. So click on that one. If you're in the Quick Commuting Academy and you have full access to the Quick Commuting Academy, that link will work for you. So you can check that out. And I think there's one more, but I'd have to actually go through all these videos and find it. Which I can't do while I'm sitting here because there's a lot of videos in there. All right. What else? Any other questions you guys have? You're welcome. Any other questions you guys have? If not, I'm going to roll out so I can prep for my co-working session with the Be About It challenge crew. I'm really excited. Today we're going to be reviewing each other's resumes. So this week the focus is on writing our resumes. So this should be fun. I'm just kidding. Resumes are not fun at all. Nobody likes doing resumes. No one likes doing resumes. I don't even think resume writers actually like doing it. I think they like that they're good at it, but I don't know that they like actually doing it. Anyway, thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on alerts so that you get notified when I post new videos. And we'll do this once a month, every first Saturday. So hopefully I get to see you guys there. Or, even better, if you want to join the Quick Commuting Academy and hang out with me every week on Saturday. Y'all take care. Have a great Labor Day weekend.